Okay, so with today's news that Mariah has pushed back her album, her new record, well, if we're really being fully honest, it's the 11th studio album that she's recorded, of course, with the exception of Unplugged and all her Christmas albums and blah 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 and all the rest of that. So, she's pushed it back from the 23rd of July. Late last night, I was up against my will after I've been awake for more than 48 hours, and I actually recorded something saying that she should push back her album. Now, I probably won't end up posting it for you guys to hear, but I did in fact say that, as did one of my favorite people on Twitter, Tayshawn. He was talking about that last night as well, and people were trying to comfort him and saying he has no idea what he's talking about, only for him to be vindicated less than 12 hours later when Mariah in fact said, my album basically isn't ready. That's basically what she's saying. And I've had about enough of all of this shit. I think it's time to do a State of the Union. And from now on, that's what I'm going to call these podcasts. State of the Union. So that's the title. Okay, from now on, the name is State of the Union. But today we are actually going to have a State of the Union. I'm going to get my girls in check, because it would be hypocritical of me not to do what I would do for any other artist. If this were Rihanna, if this were Alexandra Burke, if this were Sierra, if this were Katy Perry, I would be saying the same thing. I would be saying, what's going on? Why do you not have your shit in jacket and all the rest of it? So, just so all of you know, I will be talking about my 4 female faves. Before we get into that, can I just give a quick rest in peace to the King of Pop? Many of you will know, he's one of my favorite artists. He's been one of my favorite artists for the last 18 years. And, yeah, we're just giving a quick rest in peace. I'm trying not to think about it today, so we're just going to keep things light. I'm going to be talking about B, Mariah, Gaga, and probably Britney too. But what I will say about Britney is that she has never given us any word on a release date. She's never given us any reason to think the album would be out in the near future. So I'm assuming, as I assumed last year, the album will be coming out in the 4th quarter or the 1st quarter of next year, which all signs are pointing to. So we'll leave Miss Britney, because she is not promising us dates and not delivering and doing all the rest of this and gallivanting around foolishly and all the rest of that. So we'll leave the princess. She has done nothing wrong. But everyone else, Gaga, B, Mariah, this is for you. Gaga, let's start off with you, my darling. Art pop, right? Where do we begin? I will actually say that you have the best excuse out of B, yourself, and Mariah, because you suffered a serious injury. If I'm correct, I'm going off the top of my head, it was a hip injury that you had to cancel Born This Way, the tour, and you had to spend months recovering. You had to go through surgery, and then of course that delayed your album. That's understandable. So I'm willing to let that go. I'm not upset at you. I don't feel any kind of way. I have come to believe for the last few months that Art Pop will probably be out in the final quarter of this year or 1st quarter of next year. So again, just make sure everything's ready on time, and I won't have to talk about this again. B. Oh, B. Where do we begin? Okay. GQ interview was for early this year. I think it was the March edition of GQ or the February edition of GQ. Whatever. Either way. Okay, because again, I'm working from no notes, so I can't remember. I can't bother to care. So basically, it's the GQ interview. She told the magazine that we could expect the album in April, or a single in April, whichever one. She said that we could expect something in April. All we got was a Pepsi commercial. I'm giving you this under the belief that she did in fact record the video, as has been proven by Ashley Everett, in fact, saying they've been recording videos and shooting videos for the last few months and nothing has come out. Which means that, as I've said for a long time now, the single was meant to drop after the Pepsi advert, just the way Billboard claimed, because Billboard would not sit there and claim something like that if they did not have a strong reason to believe it to be true. They clearly said that, and then her team just come and say, oh no, it'll be the week off, out the week after next, and you can expect a new single, and then nothing happened. Poor organization, people coming out and talking when they shouldn't, B not having any discernible plan. This era is already starting off messily. It is a huge mess. Standing on the Sun is leaked. Grown Woman is leaked. There's been all this promo for nothing. You said the album would be out in April. Nothing happened. Target advertised new Beyonce album, all the rest of it, back in January, which people love to forget and love to completely ignore. The Vogue interview indicated that we can expect an album this summer, which obviously isn't coming. So for all those people that are claiming we had no reason to expect anything, as I said a couple of months ago, stop lying to yourselves. Stop lying to yourselves. Admit the truth, because that's the first step. Once you can admit the truth, then you can think, okay, when is the album coming out? Because now you think, oh, no, B didn't promise us anything. Yes, she did. She lied. Everyone lies. You know? She lied. So now B is messing around and doing all the rest of this. And as I've said before, I'd rather the album be ready and have everything in check. But let's not pretend that the album wasn't meant to be out already. Because right now, the scene is a wasteland. So she could have really been dominating this summer with great promo and Time for Change and all these magazine covers and the Pepsi commercial. And unless she's going to do another Pepsi commercial for the album, which is a possibility, I'm not saying it's not. Unless she's going to do a Pepsi commercial before the album drops, that will have been a wasted opportunity. Grown Woman would have been playing on screens worldwide, thanks to the commercial. Now we've all heard Grown Woman. I don't even think I want it as a single. I don't. By the time the single probably is ready to come out in September, maybe October, will the public even care? Because I know I'm talking mainly to the Hive right now. But of course the Hive will care. But will the public generally care really about the song they've heard months ago? Maybe they will. I don't know. I'm just saying it will be good to go something else. And then of course Standing on the Sun was a strong single choice. Could have been a huge hit, especially if it came out during the summer. Sadly, that is not the case. Of course, you could always do a What's My Name, where What's My Name would, as I've said many times, would have been better suited to come out during the summer season, but it came out during the winter and slayed anyway. #1 here in the UK, #1 abroad, #1 in the States. You know, she could still do it, but Standing on the Sun, it's tropical, it's baby boyish, it's, you know, that kind of hot summer season blasting with the windows down and the top down kind of thing. You know what, that's neither here nor there. B, get your shit in check. We've dealt with B now. Let's move on to Mariah. Mariah, darling, I've known for some time now that you weren't ready. The lack of beautiful promo, the lack of push for a song that could easily have been a top 10 hit, a song that is still clinging on in the top 25 of the Billboard Hot 100 despite having just one American Idol performance that lasted all of 1 minute, one Good Morning America performance that is best left ignored, and one performance at Hot 97, people that don't even buy records, and a radio appearance to debut the song. It could have been huge, and you missed the opportunity, and now we're hoping for a second single. As I said last night in my recording, though it's the one you guys haven't heard, before the 23rd of July, there would not have been sufficient time to release the remix, release the video for the remix, and release a second single and a video for the second single, as well as doing appropriate worldwide promotion. Because let's keep in mind, Beautiful's doing well over here in the UK and Europe, and that's without promotion. She has not been here to promote anything in years. Memoir's promotion for over here in the UK was practically non-existent. There is no reason why Mariah should not be promoting this album. That should be her comeback album after having one half-assed era Memoir, two half-assed eras. If we're being honest, she hasn't had a proper era since Emancipation, and that was 8 years ago. And anyone who argues with me, I would like you to give me any instance of proper promo after Bye Bye. After she went off and got married to Nick Cannon, who some of us don't care for. I myself like him, but some of us don't care for. But she went off and got married. It's understandable that she wanted a honeymoon and to enjoy her new husband and all the rest of that. She went off and got married, and then Memoirs was a half-assed era and all the rest of that, and, you know, she was going through several things during Equals MC Squared, so we understand that. And then the Christmas album, then the pregnancy and blah, 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 and whatever the rest of that. Now this is her first proper era in 8 years. Almost a decade, people. Almost a decade. Obama has been elected since then. Kim Kardashian is famous since then. Paris Hilton is irrelevant since then. Bea has released Irreplaceable since then. Rihanna since then has become one of the biggest pop stars on the planet. Please bear in mind, when It's Like That was released, no one knew about Rihanna. So when you put it in context, when you put it in that context, you really begin to realize how long it has been since we've had a proper Mariah era. I'm glad you're pushing it back, even though I'm laughing and I'm joking on the rest of that. And even though I'm saying you've given us no release date, and I find that hilarious in itself, I'm glad that you pushed it back, because I'd rather you do things, I'd rather you handle things properly and get everything in check and your promotion in order before you decide to embark on another era. We don't want half-assed eras this time around. We want, as you said, we want a world tour and all that stuff. In order to sell these world tour tickets, you need to have a successful album and several successful singles. So we need to get everything in order. And I was joking on Twitter earlier about being Mariah and Gaga organising this shit, but I'm beginning to think that this is in fact true. And some of you might laugh at me and think I'm wrong, but Bea and Gaga are very good friends. Bea and Mariah are very good friends, as they've said on several occasions. It's not incredible. It's not, you know, unbelievable to think that the three of them sat down earlier this year or late last year and thought, let's really troll these bitches. Monsters, the Hive and the Lambs. Let's really see how crazy we can drive them. And, you know, I, being Bea in this situation, I will say that I'll release my album in April and then not release anything. And then when people ask me about my album, say nothing completely and say, oh, come when it comes. Or soon. Yes. I'll say it's coming soon. Soon. Oh, I love that word. And then Mariah was like, yes. And then I will announce 7/23 is my release date, only to cancel it less than a month before. And then not give a release date, period. And then Gaga was like, I will just not say anything. For Gaga we can understand, but still, this is part of some kind of evil plan. These bitches don't like us. I've realised that. They don't. Secretly, deep down, I think Bea hates the Hive anyway. She does. I've suspected that for quite some time. She likes her fans, but she doesn't like the Hive. She doesn't. And you're welcome to ask me why that is in my mentions. Why I assume that. I don't think I've ever had as much fun recording something. I'm Vaselining my lips. Okay. I think I'm about done. This is my first one on YouTube, by the way, so I'm having fun with this. My phone isn't charged. Yeah, I'm gonna upload this. I don't know why. I think it's light. You know, it's taken my mind off of the King's passing, which was almost 5 years ago. You know, today and tomorrow are two of the hardest days of the year for me, and I won't even get into, well, tomorrow is the anniversary of my father's death. He passed away 18 years ago, actually. Brain cancer. So, yeah. Well, that's a note to end on, isn't it? That's really depressing. Well, let's just think about that little conversation the girls must have had. And of course, I'm sure Britney was there sipping martinis and being shady with all of them. You know? Yeah, so this was fun. Follow me on Twitter at THA_PHOENIX.